Logan Paul was saying that he would trash Tristan and that they would come out victorious every time, saying that Tristan is basically built like a gingerbread man.
Shit. I'm the one calling the shots. I don't get stuck in the box. Feel like I've been through a lot.
Welcome back again to the Dojo of Dane, where I talk completely unfiltered and say exactly what comes straight out of my brain with no second thought to it. And we're going to discuss a possible fight that might happen between the Paul brothers and the Tate brothers. Now, who knows? Will this fight actually happen? They've talked about this before, but Andrew ended up having the issue. You guys know what it is. Now it looks like they're betting 20 million. The Paul brothers are betting 20 million because on an interview, with George Janko, Andrew Tate said that him and his brother would come out victorious in a fight between them and the Paul brothers any time. He said he's always training and always ready to fight. So we're going to see what the Paul brothers have to say about this in accordance to the title. Like I already said, it seems like they are betting 20 million. So let's see how they respond to the Tate brothers supposedly saying they can whoop their booties, their ass cracks open. Okay, that was a little gay, sorry.
MMA fight looks like between Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Tristan Tate, Andrew Tate. There's with the three main categories involved, which is upper body or hand striking, kicking, and wrestling and or grappling, and what that looks like. So let's start with actual fist striking. Who that's fine. You can have that opinion or that thought. Who takes that?
I'm just laughing because how do you want to do this?
Yep.
You're gonna go.
I want to do a breakdown.
You're gonna go striking, grappling.
I know striking generally would be hand and feet combined, but I think it's important that we break it down from a boxing, kickboxing, and a jiu-jitsu standpoint.
Before we answer, are you even interested in this conversation? Because not to hijack the question, because I'm sure some people will be interested in this, is we talk a lot, we say a lot of stuff, we got big ass mouths. We also do a lot.
Yeah.
And we back up a lot of the shit we say, or at least give it our best effort.
Yeah.
Right? As it stands, the other guys, they just talk a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot of talking, and they're fantastic at it. It's why they have a following. They can be magnetic with words, and it draws a lot of people in.
Well, Andrew Tate was a kickboxing world champion.
What was, Mike? He was.
Completely understood, but I'm just saying, I want to play an unbiased standpoint here. So before we call them simply talkers, there is some combat experience. And he trains every day.
And also, world champion.
I can look up the exact.
No, world champion in kickboxing is such a seems like subjective sort of thing, because who did he beat? How did no one in the kickboxing world, actual champions that I know who this guy was? No one's ever heard of him. The guys he beat are 1 in 54. Like Dylan Dennis was a 4-time world champion in brown belt. So there's still people out there who are significantly better than him.
So is there different credibilities and different?
Yeah, there's all types of different belts. And in a lot of
regardless, let's just call him a skilled kickboxer for means of this conversation.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. And who still trains on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
So sorry, where were you going? I was simply not going to lead anywhere.
No, I was just going with this. We can sit here and talk all day, but that seems kind of pointless to me. I don't.
Well,
what's the point?
Let's have a theoretical conversation about it.
Yeah, this is why I didn't call anyone out in the ring after my fights, because I can call all these people out, but these fucking people don't want to fucking fight me. So it is kind of annoying.
We play video games where Scorpion goes up against Reptile and they spit on each other. Let's just assume this conversation is a theoretical or a fun discussion that never takes place.
Yeah. So striking. I mean, who's facing who, right? So is it tag team?
Yeah. How does that work? How does that work?
It would have to be a new format in MMA.
No, they have 2-on-2 MMA, but I think it's tag team. I think. I don't know.
We got to go to Russia.
They do that. They do 6-on-6.
Tag team is completely hypothetical. I don't think they can sanction a tag team fight, but if they did, definitely would be entertaining. I definitely would watch that. So, I mean, has there ever been a actual fight that was tag team, or is this just merely a SmackDown thing? I don't think there's ever been an actual tag team fight. I mean, there's tag team in karate, but not in like sanctioned sport, in any combat sport that I'm aware of.
Florida would let us do it.
No way.
But
be that tactical. I'm just asking simple questions. So from the upper body hand striking situation, part of it, you guys clearly have the power and the experience to win that portion, correct? Now,
if it were boxing, absolutely. If it were kickboxing, he'd probably best us. Like if it was solely kickboxing,
that's what I was gonna say.
How would he not?
It's a completely different.
That's insane.
I don't.
Kickboxing?
No, it's MMA. No.
It's MMA. I think he's kind of clunky on his feet.
His guard ain't great, and he's a reactive counterpuncher.
His chin is wide open in the air.
He leans
His
back
neck,
a lot.
yeah.
You throw some big punches, you'll get caught. But wait, if it's MMA, I mean, dog.
So you guys, the reason I'm asking is I'll just say it for you. You guys take fist striking and.
So Andrew Tate's style, where he fights with his hands down and leans back out of the way of punches, that style works particularly with fighters that are shorter than you. So I believe Jake Paul might be slightly shorter than Andrew Tate. It also has to do with arm length, wingspan, like they say. So it may work with Jake Paul, but Logan Paul is taller than Andrew Tate, so he would have to use a different tactic for him. Although Logan Paul's skill level is a lot lower than Jake Paul's skill level when it comes to boxing, so he might still be able to pull it off, even though he's taller, considering he does a lot of telegraphing. He's not really technically there. He's not on the same level as Jake Paul.
And you have a wrestling background.
Wrestling better.
He has a kickboxing background and potentially maybe more MMA experience. He probably rolls
He
around.
has MMA fights. Yeah.
Correct. So that's where
And really, we're talking about Andrew here. Like Tristan's not really in this equation. Like,
the way they describe it would be.
Yeah, but that's like the light work. Like we'll take that out real fast and then.
By the way, without a question, for anyone doubting that's fucking insane. Like,
are they bigger than you?
I think.
Are they really?
Tristan's
Are they
size,
really
yeah.
6'5"?
Yeah.
No, they're
6'5",
both
240.
Tristan's like taller than Andrew, I think. He's like 6'2", and Andrew's like 6 foot. But Tristan's like
accurate?
heavy. Tristan's probably like 230, 240.
That's
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Wait, that's Jake. That's big. I'm 6'2.5", 215 for reference. That's he and obviously muscle weighs more, but like that's a big boy.
Who cares, Mike?
No, I'm not saying it like that. I'm just talking.
Well, then what are you saying?
It's just a structural conversation, like an engineer or some sort of contractor. It's just interesting that he's that big of a guy. Okay, so
This is a silly combo.
all right. So what?
My dad could beat up your dad if this happened, but if this didn't happen and it was like this how it would happen. It's silly. Like that's why I think
it's fun to have those kind of conversations, those theoretical conversations.
But the conversation.
The sound guy's laughing. He likes it. He likes
They'd
it.
solely be conversations for months, potentially years. Like we gave him an offer.
Yeah, it's
there's one thing to do. You can
10 mil for Andrew, 10 mil for Tristan, 10 mil for you, 10 mil for me, and.
But here's what they'll say: I don't need this for the money. You're gonna have to slap $50 million for me even to get out of bed. But
Yeah,
but if
bro.
you
Okay, so I'm pretty sure on a podcast that Andrew Tate did with Jake Paul, he told Jake Paul if he went ahead and visited his house that they could do a sparring match for free. So I don't think that they would be against it. Maybe they wouldn't want to do a sanctioned fight, but if they fly out to Romania and do a sparring match, full contact, that's basically the same thing, right? Call it a sparring match, but they can go full out and fight and see who would come out victorious going down that route. But if they do accept the fight, which I hope they do, because it would be immensely entertaining but also super risky considering Andrew Tate's persona. If he loses, he may lose some of his persona in some people's eyes, although everybody loses and wins fights, so that's kind of dumb. But there are people that will judge. Usually people that have never been in a ring before are the ones that are going to go ahead and judge. But either way, it is something that he has to worry about considering his persona of being a tough guy.
have money, if you have money, then why is it about the money?
What if there was a second? Are you guys confident enough so that if they ask for something that was more than the money, would you guys be willing to devote to that?
Like what?
You guys have to
pink slips.
No. You guys have to start to support the Tate Academy. No, all right, not that. Not that. No, I was serious, but you wouldn't do that. But like, you guys have to delete your Instagrams.
Fuck yeah, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lose, so.
Anything. Your terms.
That's
Your terms. Whatever. Like, it shouldn't be about the money. It should be solely for entertainment and to figure out, after all, who's really about it. And we're telling you, we'll do it. But it's not going to happen.
Hey, guys, if you like that clip, hit the subscribe button. And
Oh, that's the whole clip? I saw a bit of a different clip. It was a different clip where Logan Paul was saying that he would trash Tristan and that they would come out victorious every time, saying that Tristan is basically built like a gingerbread man. Now, Tristan is jacked, so I'm not sure what Logan Paul is trying to say. I mean, Logan Paul's built better than Tristan, but Logan Paul's also on a bunch of PEDs, and that's undeniable. You can tell by his physique if you know anything about PEDs. Otherwise, you're just naive. Sorry to tell you. Within this theoretical fight between Jake Paul versus Andrew Tate, that would be a very competitive fight, and I would say that the fight could go either way, considering Jake Paul does have very good striking skills. He has a power punch. Andrew Tate also has a powerful punch. He has knockout power, and he has a lot of experience in the ring. He also trains every day, and he has the money that basically the places that he trains in his house is a complete boxing gym, so he's basically in the boxing gym every day. Now, when we're talking in terms of Tristan Tate versus Logan Paul, I don't see it going in Logan Paul's favor. Logan Paul likes to lump himself together with his brother and say, we're great boxers, but basically the only great boxer is Jake Paul. Logan Paul is not as skilled as Jake Paul objectively. So Tristan Tate also has quite a bit of professional experience. Logan Paul does not. Tristan's technique is better than Logan Paul. So Tristan spars his brother on a regular basis, who is a very technical fighter, very skilled fighter. I would definitely say that it would go in Tristan's favor. I don't see Logan Paul beating Tristan in a boxing match, and definitely not in a kickboxing match. He would get destroyed in a kickboxing match because you can't just pick up kicks in a couple of months. It literally takes years and years and years to perfect your kicks. I would say it takes longer than perfecting your punches to perfect your kicks. You have to have good aim. You have to know when to kick. You have to know how to put power into it, how to be quick while putting power into it. Because if you're just sitting there trying to put power, it's going to become slow. So you have to know when to relax, when to explode, how to maintain that precision. You have to have the flexibility to be able to kick, which also takes a long time. So they wouldn't be able to pick up kicking that fast. It's not going to happen. So either way, kickboxing match, Jake Paul loses versus Andrew Tate. Kickboxing match, Logan Paul loses. Boxing match, Logan Paul loses. MMA match now. If we're talking MMA, Logan Paul versus Tristan, I'm going to keep it real. I'll give it to Logan Paul because he has wrestling experience. He's actually a decent wrestler. He's a good wrestler. I won't take away skills from somebody. I'm not out here talking trash. His striking is not that great, but his wrestling is pretty good. So Tristan's wrestling is probably not very good at all. So if we're talking MMA, all Logan Paul's technique needs to be is to evade or maybe eat a couple punches, take him to the ground, and then Tristan will have a difficult time from there. So I would have to give it to him in MMA though. So it'd be very interesting, but I would love to see if they would accept that fight. I would definitely watch it. Would I pay for it on pay-per-view? Probably not. I'll probably watch it the day afterward or something like that, or figure out some pay-per-view party I can go to see it. But I would definitely watch it. Let me see if you guys agree. Do you think that Logan Paul would lose against Tristan in a boxing match? Do you think that Logan Paul could compete against Tristan in a kickboxing match? Who do you think would take the victory in a boxing match between Jake and Andrew Tate? And in an MMA fight, who would win between Jake and Andrew Tate? I would still give it to Andrew just because Jake doesn't know how to kick. I'm not sure about his wrestling. So you can go ahead and let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinions. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.